Selection Sunday has passed and the field of 68 teams are set. The cream of the crop of the 2018 NBA Draft will be participating in March Madness. Whether you've been watching college basketball all season or just now starting to pay attention to prepare to fill out a bracket, this is an exciting time of the year for a basketball fan. The NCAA tournament brings a great opportunity for NBA fans to potentially see the next generation of stars. Will a lesser-known prospect have a coming-out party? Will a top 5 prospect get overwhelmed and falter under the bright lights? It's important to note, a disappointing performance shouldn't drop a prospect too far down the draft board, as well as a great performance shouldn't elevate a player from, say, a late first rounder to a top 5 pick. In this video, I'll discuss some of the top prospects in each region in the 2018 NCAA tournament. First up, the South region. The Pac-12 Player of the Year, DeAndre Ayton, has nothing left to prove as the top NBA prospect in my opinion. He has definitely lived up to the hype, if not played better than expected. There's nothing he can't do offensively. He can get you a bucket from the inside and the outside. And defensively, he has shown flashes of being a dominant defensive player. Even though Arizona struggled a bit with consistency at times, they have the talent to get to the Final Four and win the national championship. Another top prospect at the center position in this region is Texas big man Mo Bamba. He is one of the most frightening shot blockers in college basketball. He returned from a toe injury in the Big 12 tournament and is good to go for this weekend. Scouts already know what kind of impact he can have on the next level. A disappointing performance by Bamba shouldn't keep him out of the top 5. As you may already know, one of my favorite prospects this year is Lonnie Walker. I believe he's one of the prospects whose stock could be impacted the most in the tournament. He is obviously an explosive athlete who can get in the lane and finish through contact, and has shown he can stroke it from three-point range. With teammate Bruce Brown likely out for the tournament, Miami will have to rely on Lonnie even more. A breakout performance could solidify him in the lottery, but I could easily see Miami going out in the first round. Two of the best prospects on Kentucky is point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and forward Kevin Knox. For the most part, Knox has played up to his potential. He's had a fairly solid freshman season and has become a knockdown shooter that the Wildcats desperately needs. He has the size to play both forward spots on the next level. Even though he might be the first Wildcat taken in the draft, there's no doubt that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player on this team. As a Kentucky Wildcat fan, Gilgeous-Alexander has given me hope that this team could make a run in the tournament. He's not going to blow you away with his speed and athleticism like Colin Sexton or shoot the lights out like Trae Young, but he may be the most complete point guard in the draft. He plays at his own pace and rarely turns the ball over. His size and length makes up for his lack of elite athleticism and speed. He can take over a game offensively and can lock down on defense. Without this guy, Kentucky might be playing in the NIT. Jacob Evans is the best prospect on Cincinnati. The Bearcats are a physical, hard-nosed team, and Jacob's game embodies that. He provides great defense to go along with his improving offensive game. He can be inconsistent, but he has shot 40% from 3 this year. My prediction for this region is kind of tough for me because I think Kentucky do have a chance to go to the Final Four if everything breaks right. But with the inconsistent play from Diallo and Richards, and also with Jared Vanderbilt questionable to play, Kentucky will more than likely fail to get to the Sweet 16. I have the Arizona Wildcats winning this region. I'm just not a believer in Virginia, even though they have been one of the best teams all year. Next up, the Midwest region. Marvin Bagley has had a tremendous freshman season. When it comes to numbers, he has certainly lived up to the hype. He is still improving as a jump shooter, which will take his offensive game to another level. But question remains, will he be able to guard NBA power forwards on the next level? His teammate Wendell Carter has had just as much impact on Duke as Bagley has if you factor in the defensive side of the ball. Carter averages around 2 blocks a game and is rarely caught out of position. He is more of a polished scorer than Bagley in the low post and also is a better three-point shooter. Along with Mo Bamba, Jackson is one of the best shot blockers in college basketball. He has quietly entered his name in the top 5 discussion. He has a reliable three-point shot as he shot around 40% from 3 during the regular season. He struggled a bit in the Big Ten tournament, but I expect him to bounce back in this tournament and prove why scouts are so high on him. Even though I felt that Oklahoma didn't necessarily deserve to be in the tournament, I'm not going to complain about it because I get to see Trae Young play at least one more game in college. Not only did Oklahoma struggle in the second half of the season, but so did Trae Young. Teams in the Big 12 were able to game plan for him and made him uncomfortable. I just think he's asked to do too much for Oklahoma, and he just wore down throughout the season. Maybe the NCAA tournament will be a chance for Trae Young to remind people what he can do. For the Midwest region, Michigan State is my pick to make it all the way to the Final Four. With the coaching of Tom Izzo and the good supporting cast around the 2 NBA prospects on the roster, Michigan State can easily go on the run and show everyone why a lot of experts picked them to win it all before the season started. In the West region, one of the top prospects at the beginning of the season, Michael Porter Jr., came back in the SEC tournament after missing almost the whole year. As expected, he struggled in his first full game of the season. Even if he has another poor performance, he still should be considered as a top 10 draft pick if his back checks out at the NBA Combine. His brother Jontay Porter has been a surprising prospect this year. His stats won't blow you away overall, but you can see the value he can have on the next level. During SEC play, Jontay stepped up his level of play. He is a proven floor spacer, passer, and surprisingly, a rim protector despite his average athleticism. Maybe an impressive showing by Jontay may dictate whether he stays one more year or enter the NBA draft. Even though they get Michael Porter back, I still think Missouri is destined to lose in the first round. Adding him to the mix this late in the season is a recipe for disaster. It's like all the other teams are in playoff mode and Missouri is still in training camp. Barring a surprising performance by Michael Porter, I see Missouri losing in the first game. Cater-based Diop is the focal point of the Buckeyes offense as he can score in many different ways. He can step out and shoot it from 3-point range, or he can post up on a low block. Ohio State's possible success in the tournament hinges on the play of Cater. He's been able to put it all together this year by leading a team to the tournament that was picked to finish 11th in the Big Ten in the preseason. He's a first-round talent. How he plays in the tournament could have an NBA team willing to take a chance on him in the middle of the first round. Killian Tillie has been able to establish himself as an NBA prospect with players like Zach Collins and Kornowski no longer on the team. Tillie was amazing in the West Coast Conference tournament as he was named the most outstanding player. Gonzaga has had a lot of success with international players over the years, and this year is no different. The combination of Killian Tillie and Rui Hachimura could lead Gonzaga to a deep run in the tournament while introducing themselves to the fans that know very little about them. Even though they lost a lot of talent last year, North Carolina has come together this year and played better than I expected. Despite 10 losses this season, they have shown they can compete with anybody in the country. Led by Joel Berry, Cameron Johnson, Luke May, and Theo Pinson, North Carolina is my pick to represent the West region in the Final Four. Last but not least, the East region. Mikal Bridges may be one of the safest picks in the NBA draft. His versatility as a defender and his lethal 3-point shooting makes him a top 10 prospect who can be the glue guy to any team in the NBA. He's the best two-way perimeter player in college basketball. He is perfect for a team that already has an established offensive player on the team. He is not the best at creating his own shot, but can capitalize on the defense, focusing on another offensive player on the next level. Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson could be on track to win their second national championship, as Villanova is one of the most complete and experienced team in the NCAA tournament. Colin Sexton has impressed fans and scouts throughout the year, but he really showed out in the SEC tournament. He can take over a game and will his team to victory. His scoring ability and toughness is his calling card, but can he consistently get his teammates involved? Will he be able to bring his teammates along for the ride? For Alabama to make a deep run, Sexton's teammates definitely need to step up. Arkansas's Daniel Gafford is one of the most active and athletic players in the nation. He's an excellent rim protector and has become a solid rebounder. He gets most of his buckets diving to the rim and putbacks. He could be better off staying one more year to refine his offensive game and work on consistency, but he still will get a look in the mid-first round if he was to come out this year. Villanova is definitely my pick to win this region. Their two best players have great experience, and they're one of the best duos in college basketball. This is Villanova's region to lose. This is the perfect time for me to introduce you to FanDuel's Bracket Challenge. Instead of predicting the outcome of every single game and trying to get a perfect bracket, FanDuel is doing things a little different. Instead, you just pick 5 teams. The longer your teams last, the more points you score. And lower seeded teams can get the most points. So picking only number 1 seeds will give you a lesser chance to win. And the best thing about this is it's free. If you're interested in playing this contest, click the link in the description. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do it right now for more basketball content.